Quasi here. Today's interview we have Christoph. Christoph has completely changed his life. When he was starting as an herbalist, he was making 2K a month, and after rewiring his relationship to money and shifting his identity from not being able to charge more, from not feeling confident enough, he's made a drastic transformation in his life over a few short months. He went from doing 2K a month to doing over 12K a month. And now Christoph has become a completely different person. But not only that, his family life, his relationship to his wife and his children, him being more present to the moment, that has also surfaced as a result of this identity shift. So every single area of Christoph's life has improved, all as a result of this one thing, him shifting into who he was truly meant to be. So in this interview, our customer success manager, Hina, and Christoph go deep into Christoph's situation to give you insights on how you can apply it to your situation as well. So let's jump right into it.
I want to go into your results, right? So the things that I saw inside the post that I was like, wow, this is like a great thing for Christoph. So just going back to what I was saying in the beginning, you were making about 2 to 3K a month as a herbalist. And I saw that you had posted a post about making a 12K a month. How did that feel for you?
Yeah, that was amazing. It was just incredible. It was such a new experience because before I had this blockage in my mind that it's not possible. It's just not possible. And now, if you mention it, it's several months ago. I have not no problem with it at all. It's okay. It's
Yeah,
possible, and it's just yeah. I'm doing good work. I'm putting things out. I'm doing a great service to people. So why shall I not also take the credit and the benefit from it?
exactly.
And this is like exactly like the start when, as soon as I started to invest in myself, it also meant that for the first time I can really also receive because I feel it's important. I've been always a kind of person who always gives, 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 and never
Yeah,
stops to say, okay, now I can receive. And I feel I've a more balanced way of giving. I even would say I'm more truly more generous. And it goes with being generous also like receiving, being able to receive well. And yeah, it just feels great. At the moment, I'm selling like yearly programs for herbalists and therapeutes, and they because before I wasn't courageous. I thought, okay, maybe he or she will be 3 months with me in this program. But if they join for 1 year, they have much better results. So I'm just honest with myself and saying, hey, this is a 1 year program, and you join, and now it's so much. It's like it feels lighter. It feels more joy for also on the sales calls. The people they are like they want to say yes. They want to work with me. I want to work with them. I enjoy spending my time with them. They learn a lot. I learn. I still learn, and it's fun. And Hina, the most important thing maybe to tell you today in this conversation is that for the first time in my whole life, I stopped worrying about money. So this is new for me. It's a new feeling because all my life, well, no, before I wasn't worried about, but as soon as I had a family, I started taking this worry from my dad and a constant worry. And now it's like 7 months, maybe. It's gone, it's vanished, and it has nothing to do also with how much you earn. Like kind of it, you feel that you have mastered the money game, and this is my goal I had with joining this program because, like spirituality, health, relationships, everything was fine. I'm blessed, but I wanted to make it work for the money game as well. And now I can see some month ago, like it creeps in your mind. Ah, yeah, but and then you relax and you say, oh no, everything's good. And it doesn't have anything to do if you make like 100K or 12K or 1K, or if you like live in a place where you can pick the fruit from the trees. It's just kind of a different mindset. And I'm very happy yeah, to being able to really experience and live it from this place.
yeah.
Feels good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful, and thanks for sharing that. I feel like so many people are gonna resonate with the fact that that you had so many of those money worries and now you don't. And I think the question for everyone is, how did you get to this point, right? That now you're not worrying about money, that you made that huge jump from 2 to 3K to 12K and having that milestone month and like having that calm feeling still within you. What do you think made that change for you?
It's everything starts with the inner climate or inner universe. So I just feel that I had kind of the idea, the worry is an idea, and it's like I finally, like the sun shines through the fog. It's like the sun comes through, and you can see, oh no, it's not real. It's just an idea, and it's kind of it settles, something settles inside of you. But I think it's important to experience also. So I think it's important that I experienced these month with a good income,
Mhm.
because in life, I feel we have to experience everything. And if we don't experience it, then it stays like an idea or a thought. So I feel
Yeah.
we have to, yeah, experiment with food, with seeing different places, with seeing different movies, with planting different plants, with making different incomes, doing different jobs. I think it's just
Yeah.
like being in an open place and experiencing, and then learn that everything that you experience, there's one point inside of you, and you could call it your heart, that is in a still place. And it's always in this like still place from where you experience everything. And then you're not so worried about all these stuff going on outside, but you
Yeah.
realize that it's just like this place, like this inner temple you experience from. And yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's
It's like this place. Go ahead.
yeah, it's just like mastery of life. I think I'm really interested in being the master of life. And I feel that this is the path that is open for every human being. And if we can support each other, that the other person also goes on this path of self-mastery, being your own king and queen and living a life like sovereign, then that
Yeah.
world would really be a paradise, because we could create beautiful things like arts and beauty and health and relationships and yeah, everything. Live in abundance. Yeah.
Yeah.
In
No, you're
true.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I tell a lot of people that you have to experiment, right? You need to experiment to live and understand what is truly right for you, what is wrong for you, what you actually, know in this life. And I think you're a very, very good example of that, because some people will ask me on the coaching calls, like, oh, so how do I understand this? Or how do I understand that? I'm like, go ahead and experiment with everything, right? Then come back and make a conclusion about that. And I think that you just said that perfectly, put that into perfect words right now, because that's exactly what I always recommend. And that temple that you have inside of you is so true, because it's always been there, right? It's always been there, and it's something that we just have to find once again. So that's very, very true. My next question is, with all of these changes, with all of these transformations that you've kind of found for yourself, if you were to choose maybe one or two or three tools that you learned inside the reality mastery program, maybe like a meditation or visualization or anything that worked for you, because I know it's different for every single person, what would you say helped you the most? The Q&As, the social calls, the community? Was it a mix of it? Tell me more about that.
Okay, so two things come to my mind. First of all, the most powerful tool I'd say is real, like the reality, like this keynote I prepare for myself, and
Yeah.
I see it. Yeah. So the second thing that comes to my mind is like keeping my awareness inside and outside at the same time. So it's like
Mhm.
being aware of what is in my reality, and also being aware of what is my inner reality, and especially when I change places, when I change activities, like you cook, but then you sit down and you start eating. So it's a different activity. And so I feel that
Yeah.
the transitions, we have to be or it's nice to be aware of them. So each time we come back home, I drive with the car and the children are in the car, then I say, okay, now we're back. So like the drive is over, but something else starts. Now we're coming home. So it's always this kind of transition that I feel I need to be aware, and then things go smoothly. Because if I don't stop for a second and I just go into the other stuff, then everything feels stressful, and then things like start to, yeah,
Just stumble and like, yeah, spiral. Yeah.
yeah. So transition, being aware of my inner reality, my outer reality in those transition moments in everyday life is something that is very important for me. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a whole kind of section on inner and outer reality. And that's very interesting that you mentioned that was very, very helpful for you, because it's so interesting how the program is created in such a way that you can grab things that work for you. You'll take that with you forever, right? Because I've had other interview sessions where they're like, oh, it was something completely different to what you just said. And that's what kind of to the next level. But for you, it was this. And that's why I like to ask this question, because it's something that always makes me understand and makes me learn so much more about you guys and how the world works as well. So that's amazing. As far as the calls and like the social calls and all of those things, do you think those things were helpful for you, like the Q&As and just the direct communication with Ozzy that you were able to have?
Yeah. So the third thing I'd say, and there's no like number one, number two, number three, so they're all equal. The live
Yeah.
calls, the social calls, they are like the meat, maybe you
Yeah.
that way in the burger example. So it's really it's where you meet, where you talk, where you're live. So this is live. You're not on your own at home watching the videos, but
Yeah.
you are all in with your heart. And you can say what is on your mind. You can ask the questions. You can listen to what other people come with. And it's almost every time somebody asks a questions, I can relate to my life. I can relate to someone else. So the live calls and the social calls, they are the heart. Let's put it that way. They are the heart of the program. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to ask you because I remember that you used to be on there all of the time and you were one of the most active members on there, just like telling all your ideas. And I would always be like, oh, Christoph's ideas are so good. Like, come on and share it. And I remember like in the beginning you were very, very shy with the way that you were sharing it. And then you went on to just like be the first one to speak. And I was like, oh, Christoph, you've had this new confidence about you. I remember even Joey's one of our members said that, oh, Christoph, you have like a different energy about you today. And that's when I feel that I myself saw your shift. And that's when I was like, this person is going to be on an interview with me. And it's exactly what's happening right now. So that's amazing.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
great,
for sure.
great. The social calls, the way you prepare them is just amazing. It's
Thank
different.
you.
All the lives and the social calls, they are different, and they have to be. So it's like a heartbeat. So it's really nice. They go so well with each other. They flow. And very well prepared. But then you have this open space. You create this open place where everyone can share. I miss it a lot because now my schedule is different, so I cannot be
Yeah.
on it anymore. But I really miss, and yeah,
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 for sure. We miss you too as well on those calls, but it's even thankful for the past calls that you were on there because you shared so many valuable things. All of those things are recorded. People watch it back. So it's not lost work at all. It's something that was helpful for you and it's now going to be helpful for so many people that watch it back. So that's amazing. I wanted to go before we kind of go into the other parts of this call, just into your personal life, right? Because I know you mentioned your family a lot and how you've been prioritizing them and how that aspect of your life has changed because a lot of us focus on business, right? So how did you go from this to this and how was your internal life changed? But I want to know specifically what's your situation with your family and with this new identity shift that you've had. How do you think that that has impacted that part of your life?
yeah. It's a very good question. So what I see, like the oldest kids, they are like turning teenagers these years.
Yeah,
And for me as a dad, it's so important to see that this period of life is very short. So maybe 6 years, and the first will leave home. So my priority is to be there. So I want to be there, like preparing lunch or seeing
yeah,
them daytime. So my work is, I'm so happy I can work from home most of the time because it means I'm there for them. I see them in the morning. I see them when they come back from school. I see them in the evening. So this is something that is a conscious choice. And before, when I was so worried about money and our income, then I was doing so many different things and offering so many different things, and it was all very confusing. And so I had always the feeling of stress, and I
yeah,
don't have time for my kids, for my children. And this is horrible because then they are here and I'm here, but I'm also always worried and always busy. So
mhm,
starting the program with you and also now taking a consulting helped me a lot, like focusing on one product, more or less, like one
yeah,
online, one in person. And it makes like the whole workday so much easier because I'm very much focused on this thing and I don't have to talk about so many different products. And I'm much more relaxed. So when I come to see them for lunch or in the evening, I say, I have time, I can learn some
Yeah.
vocabulary, tell you a story. I'm relaxed in the morning. What do you want for breakfast? So I'm just more available and I have more time. I can cut time for them if I need because I'm in for the long run in my business. So it's not like everything now.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to do this for 20, 30, 40 more years. So it's good. Just enjoy that they are here now and I can do more seminars when they are doing their stuff and working and studying. So there's no rush. Yeah. And also and that I'm more aware of my training and sports. So I've really picked up sports. I feel it helped them because they all have started now doing sports like more regularly. And I think it's because I've started to do it and now it like everybody's doing it. My wife, my children. I think I
Yeah.
like Quasi and you, we all have in our more healthy everyday routine. So I think it's good. Yeah, for everyone.
Now just kind of ending with this interview session, I just wanted to know for anyone that you feel like is was in your position before, let's say someone that was Christoph or has a similar situation to you and was in your initial part before you even joined the program, what would you say to them if they had any initial hesitations about joining or kind of just were in the same spot as you back then? What advice would you give them?
Jump, like take the leap. It's really it's like when you stand in front of the pool of water, and
Yeah.
it's so much more fun to jump into the water because then you experience something, then you swim, you feel free, you get somewhere. But if you just stand there and think about it, it's just not fun, and it's just not doing anything. You don't experience the water, you don't experience yourself moving. It's just I think if you feel in your guts and you can feel and you have this intuition, then give yourself the allowance, give yourself permission to follow your intuition. Try not to hinder yourself or try not to let some thoughts or some old things hinder yourself because maybe it's not fun for this lifetime. Maybe for this lifetime, you are meant to be open, curious, courageous. You're meant to learn new things, to experience new things. So let yourself in fully and don't hesitate and don't be afraid of making mistakes. Yeah.
Beautiful. That was amazing. I like that you said just jump, right? Because it's just like you if you and I think that analogy of the pool is great. Like you're just standing there, you don't know what to do. And then you're in there and then you get scared and it's cold and then you're like, "Oh, I'm flowing in there." And that's something
Mhm.
I'm even going to think about now all the time. That's beautiful. Thank you
Imagine,
so
yeah.
much.
And imagine just because the person freezing is the one who has not jumped. It's like you stand there and
Yes, yes, that is true.
you feel alive and you feel fire in your veins and you're up to something. And this is life about. I feel life just wants to be lived. And so, yeah, so we have to get through fear. And it's the most important lesson in my life to always be conscious of death, that we will die. And it's no problem. So just get through and live life and be conscious that you can only experience aliveness when you know about your fear and about death. So it's really good to think about death in your life, make it part of your life so you can really live and experience life. And it's not like always like hiding and shying away, but really create the world you want to live in and create beauty and be generous because you don't have to hold on to it. And this is why I feel now that I'm even more generous now than I always thought of myself being generous. And yes, we could say so. I was giving a lot, but now I'm starting to be being more generous. And of course, the more energy flows my way, the more I can also like in fact being generous because I can give more if I have more. And this is really also a very nice thing that I have never seen before in this light. Yeah.
Yeah. There's always that next level. There's always that next level. We never know it, but there's always the next level to uncover a new layer to peel back of the onion that we are, right? And it's just so interesting to see that. And I think you put it beautifully with the sense of go in there, do it, experience life, create it because you only have one. And I think it's very cool actually to think about death in that way and not in that grim, sad way, because it's true. It's like you have this short life, go ahead and live it. Like go ahead and really take the leap. And I think you're a perfect testament for that. And I'm just so grateful that I was able to interview to you today, because it's such a different example. We've had so many other people on here, and everyone has a different life experience, right? But yours was very emotional and very deep to your core and who you really are. And I like that we kind of tied it back to aliveness at the end with the jumping in the pool and all those things. We started there and then we kind of ended there. And I think it's just that nice circle that is at the end of the day your core emotional driver, the thing that pushed you to do this and the thing that still is pushing you to do this. So I just wanted
Yeah.
to say thank you so much, and I'm very grateful to have had you here today.
Thank you, Hina. And one last word is like, I'm appreciate you talking about the circle, because this is what
Mm-hmm.
my work, spagyrics, hermetics, is all about. It's all about the never-ending circle of life,
Oh
of
wow.
yeah, because like every medicine starts with death. So the plants, they are cut into pieces so they can be reborn as a medicine. So it's always about death
Yes.
and rebirth. So death is just the beginning, it's not the end.
Wow. I think that was such a nice ending that we had right there. Like it's just like it connected to everything. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was amazing.